Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung and his Chilean counterpart Jose Antonio Kast held a summit in Santiago on Thursday. Upgrading the bilateral free trade agreement was a focal point of the summit. Chile was the first country to sign an FTA with South Korea in 2004, and the deal hasn't been updated since then. The leaders also agreed to promote their partnership in critical mineral supply chains, for which an MOU was signed for cooperation on mineral resources. On Friday, President Lee will hold a summit with Argentine President Javier Milei over in Buenos Aires, the final leg of his three-nation trip to South America. Korea's stock market saw a sharp double-digit gain on Friday, with the benchmark KOSPI closing 17.91% higher at 6,595.45. The index gained more than 1,000 points in a single day, setting a new record by surpassing the 11.95% rise seen during the 2008 global financial crisis. Trading opened with a sharp rally, prompting buy-side sidecars on both the KOSPI and Kosdaq minutes after the opening bell. Overnight gains in U.S. semiconductor shares spilled over into Korean stocks, with Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix leading the way. Rebound buying fueled the rally, with foreign investors returning as heavy buyers after weeks of selling. Korea's economy showed strong signs of recovery in June, with production, consumption, and investment all posting positive growth for the first time in 3 months. According to the Ministry of Data and Statistics on Friday, overall industrial production jumped 2.3% on month. This marks the sharpest increase in 6 years, when on-month growth of 2.9% was seen in June 2020. June's growth was largely driven by a 4.5% rebound in semiconductor output and a 15.4% jump in automobile production. Retail sales, a key indicator of private consumption, climbed 2.7% on the back of strong automobile and electronic sales. South Korea is experiencing record-breaking heat, with temperatures in Yangsan, Gyeongsangnam-do Province, reaching 41.4 degrees Celsius on Friday. It marked the highest reading at the country's main climate observation stations in 122 years of modern weather records, while the city endured temperatures above 40 degrees for a third consecutive day. Parts of Busan also approached 39 degrees, as westerly winds carried hot inland air toward the coastal city. Experts say a double heat dome and high sea temperatures are driving more severe heat waves and tropical nights. Prime Minister Han Sung-suk has ordered authorities to remain on high alert and strengthen protection for vulnerable groups. U.S. President Donald Trump has stated that an agreement has been reached with Hamas for their complete disarmament, a move he calls a historic breakthrough toward lasting peace in Gaza. In a post on Truth Social, Trump announced that the Board of Peace, an organization he established to oversee Gaza's reconstruction, had reached an agreement with Hamas and other groups in the enclave for their complete disarmament. Trump called the deal a monumental step, saying it would pave the way for Gaza to be governed by a new Palestinian administration working alongside the Board of Peace to rebuild the territory. Hamas confirmed the agreement, marking a major shift after years of rejecting calls to disarm. However, Israel has yet to officially endorse the agreement. U.S. officials told reporters that President Trump would be very disappointed if Israel failed to uphold to the agreement. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.